Hi everyone! In today's video, I'll show you how to make a loaf of bread, crackers, and flatbread based entirely on nuts and seeds. So the recipes are not only grain-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, but also low-carb and keto-friendly. Let's start with the nut and seed bread. Add almonds and hazelnuts to a food processor bowl and process the nuts into a fine meal. Transfer the ground nuts to a large bowl and then add sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, whole psyllium husk, salt, and water. Mix until well combined. You'll end up with a very thick dough and will have to just kind of wedge the spatula in or use your hands to mix it because it'll be very dense. You can always add a little bit more water if needed. To make the bread, transfer the dough into a loaf pan. I'm using a well-seasoned cast iron loaf pan and press the dough into an even layer. Bake the loaf at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until firm and golden brown for about 60 minutes. Once baked, transfer the bread onto a cooling rack and let it cool completely before slicing. Next are the nut and seed crackers. I'm using the same dough that I just did for the bread and rolling it out in between two pieces of parchment paper. You can make the crackers as thin or as thick as you like. I cut off the edges to shape the dough into a square, but it's totally optional. You can just score the dough into whatever shapes you like. Slide the parchment paper with the dough onto a baking sheet and bake the crackers at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until crispy and golden brown for about 30 minutes. Let the cracker cool down and then break it along the scored lines. Finally, the nut and seed flatbread. For this recipe, you'll need to process all the nuts, seeds, and psyllium first. Once finally ground, transfer everything to a large bowl, add salt and water, and mix until well combined. The dough will be wet and sticky at first, but as the psyllium absorbs all the water, it will take about a minute or two. The dough will get drier and easier to work with. Knead the dough until it's smooth, elastic, and pliable. When you're ready to make the flatbread, divide the dough into 4 equal pieces and shape them into balls. Place one ball at a time on a piece of parchment paper, cover it with another piece of parchment paper, and flatten it with the palm of your hand. Place the rolling pin in the middle of the dough and roll halfway away and halfway towards you until the dough is rolled out as thin as you like. You can use a plate or a lid to cut out round flatbread. If you have a tortilla press, feel free to use it. Keep the outside dough to reform a ball and roll out one more flatbread. Flip the flatbread onto a hot, non-stick skillet and cook it for 2 to 3 minutes on the first side. Then flip it over and cook it for 1 to 2 more minutes on the other side. I'm using a well-seasoned cast iron skillet, but I imagine that any non-stick surface will work. And that's it. Nut and seed bread, crackers, and flatbread that don't require any grains, dairy, or eggs. We've got 3 recipes in one here. As you saw in the video, you can make bread, flatbread, or crackers. And this is one of those recipes that I just make over and over again. So how do you like it?
I like the crackers. They're conveniently crunchy and slightly salty. There's like a lot of energy in this recipe. When I bite into these, whatever it is, I would take this on a hike or something because it seems like there's so much like nut seed goodness in there, density. And so it would be really good, very energizing. This is really, it holds well together. Like it feels like bread. So it'll hold really well if you wanted to make like a sandwich or something. Mm-hmm. And then this is really pliable, really soft. So it would be really good for, I don't know, I think typically we've done it with like hummus or any sort of wrap. Mm-hmm. We've done that. So very energy dense, very tasty. And I like it because there's lots of nutty flavor.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.